Thank you for joining with us.
Thank you for having me, man.
I hope Anime Boston and Boston itself has been treating you all right.
It's been amazing. Boston is so much fun. The first day I was here, we got to have lobster rolls and clam chowder, and it lives up to the name. It was so good.
Is this your first time?
First time in Boston, yeah.
You
So,
learn
yeah.
to hate it like most.
Oh, really?
Unless it's the sports teams, that you learn to hate it. Just like
Oh,
the whole
jeez.
will. I do want to ask this just because every single VA that we've talked with and like really the whole convention's been buzzing. What was it like meeting the Super Bowl champion Patriots and how much they were a fan of
That was-
the work you guys do?
That was nuts. So, yeah, we got to meet the New England Patriots. They have an anime fan club, which I thought was so cool. They've seen like every episode of Naruto. They're big Dragon Ball fans. They were showing us pictures of them like going like Super Saiyan in like the like end zone and stuff. It was so cool. So, but they were all super nice. It was really cool to like hear how they how they associate with anime and stuff like that. And it was really, really cool. And then I went over. I heard that Adam Butler was a big video game fan, and I have an event here where people can play me in Super Smash Brothers. So I went over to him. I was like, dude, it's nice to meet you. Like, I'm playing people in Smash Bros. If you want to come by and play. And he was like, oh, dude, I'm definitely gonna come. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And then like, I'm at the event and I'm playing for like an hour, and then I just see like this big hulk of a man in my periph. Like, I'm like, oh my God, Adam Butler came. And so, like, so he was like, he shows up, and I'm like, guys, I got a treat for you. Like, we got some Super Bowl champs in the house. Like, we got some of the New England Patriots, and I'm gonna play Adam Butler in Smash right now. And I remember we were playing, and I was playing as Wolf, and I immediately SD'd off the course. I like overbead like off, and I died. And I was like, oh, I'm choking under the pressure. And then like I got back to like a decent match, and then like he accidentally killed himself. He plays a sick Mario, by the way. And then I was like, oh no, not like this. So I like homie stocked and like ran off the thing. So we had like a one-on-one, and then we had a really good fight, and I ended up beating him by like just this much, and it was amazing. So
Super Bowl champ Billy Kametz.
there we go. I'll wait for my ring.
That's awesome. The role that obviously a lot of our fans, and I'm sure you feel really attached to as well as Josuke.
Yes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was one of my favorites. It probably will be, depending on when Part 6 comes out. But Part 4 really...
Everyone's excited for Part 6. I can't wait to.
Part 4 was surprising how much I really enjoyed it. I love the characters.
Mhm.
I love the art. I love really everything about it. What was it like getting that callback to be the lead of a JoJo series?
Oh my gosh, getting that email that I got the role was just like nuts. I actually honestly didn't, until Anime Expo, I didn't realize how huge JoJo was. So like I got there and there was this like 3,500 seat conference room, like meeting, like grand ballroom place. And I like walked in, I was like, are we gonna fill this up? And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna fill this up. So I like got there and like everybody was like screaming, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the JoJo fan base is huge. And I'm like, so that made me very nervous to perform the role because I hadn't done it yet. And so that was crazy. But yeah, I just remember getting the audition for it and being like, oh, this guy looks cool. I honestly didn't know, I hadn't seen the show before I auditioned. But when you get the audition, you get a bunch of lines. We had 5 scenes to do, and I just remember they were all really fun. I was like, oh, I'm connecting. Like it was one of those auditions where you do it and you just click with the guy immediately. So I just remember like clicking with him instantly and being like, this guy is so much fun. And then usually when you submit, you'll get an email back being like, hey, we got your submission confirmed. And I was like, okay. And that's nice. And then I didn't get one of those. So like a week went by and I was like, did you guys get my audition for Josuke? And then yeah, we got it, relax, it's cool. And then I was like, okay, cool, just making sure. And then like a week later, I got the thing saying that I was selected to be Josuke, and I flipped out, and it was so fun ever since, so.
Did you find out that it was going to be on Toonami when you booked the role, considering it was like dual announced when it was at Anime Expo?
I didn't know it was going to be on Toonami at the time. When I found that out, I was like already really nervous to do it and like to do a good job, because I was still pretty new at that point. Like I had done a few things, but I was still very, very green in terms of voice acting, especially for anime and all that stuff. So I was already very nervous, and then they were like, this is gonna be on Toonami, and then I was like even more nervous. I was like, oh my God, just like, you can do this, like just get it together. But yeah, it's so cool. It was so cool. That was the first time that I was ever on like TV where I could like tell my family about like, hey, I'm gonna be on this thing, like you can check it out, and like they were like watching it, and like my family's like texting me on like the first episode, like we're watching it, and like Uncle Larry is watching it, like it's so cool. And I was just like, I remember like we were doing the rat episode like as the first episode came out, like we were doing the rat episode like the next day, and I like you see like the gross like people in the fridge, and I'm like, oh no, Uncle Larry's gonna see this, like just freaking out about stuff like that.
You might get some good JoJo fans out, considering how bizarre it can be.
It can be very
Have you
bizarre.
been able to follow? I know obviously you're in the booth, you only really see, you really don't see any, you just do your lines so you know how your performance might sound, at least in your head. Have you been able to follow the show, like to see it all come together?
I'm not completely caught up on the show, but I do watch it, and it's so fun to like actually. I love watching it just because everybody else in the show is so good as well. So like a lot of times I'll be one of the first people in the booth, which is always lame because then you can't like actually like hear other people like and play off of them. It's so much more helpful to be able to do that in terms of performance. So I do love to go back and actually like watch the show and like see how it all, because also just like the story is great. Like I love the actual show itself, and like the story is awesome and the animation is great and all the actors are killing it, and I'm not in every episode, so it's cool to like go back and like actually like see the other thing that's happening with like Koichi and all that good stuff. So that's really exciting. So I do love to go back and watch all the shows.
Do you, did you like start watching anime on Toonami back when it was like on Cartoon Network, or even like while it was on Adult Swim in this current iteration now?
I didn't watch a lot of anime in beforehand because I didn't have Cartoon Network growing up, so like I wasn't able to watch like Cowboy Bebop and all that stuff like growing up. But let's see, when I got into college, that is when I watched. Somebody introduced me to Fruits Basket, and I was like, oh, I love this. So like that was the first like anime I ever watched like in its entirety. Before that, it was like pretty much like video games, like where I was like, oh, anime is so cool, like the Mega Man X things and like all that kind of stuff. Where I was like, I love this stuff, and it was just like not very readily available. Like I saw a couple episodes of Dragon Ball, and I was like, I like this a lot, but I'm so lost, like because there's like how many episodes of Dragon Ball, like and like watching that in like elementary school and like not knowing what was going on or like how like so I just kind of fell off the radar with that. But yeah, once I got to college and somebody introduced me to Fruits Basket, and I like was like hooked. And then I was like, I remember going to like Suncoast Video and like buying like Death Note and like Bleach and like just stuff like that, where I was like trying to like catch up and be a fan, but like it was expensive, and like so like until like the streaming boom came out, that's like now I'm like just like inhaling anime, and it's like I watch it like exclusively. So I'm like I'm catching up now and watching all the things that like as a fan I should be watching and stuff like that. And it's so great to like go back and like as somebody that wants to like make this his living, like to like see those performances and like see what's working and like all that stuff. So
Awesome. You have a good friend to introduce you to Fruits Basket.
oh right,
Yeah, no, Fruits Basket is amazing.
thank you 143, you know what I'm talking about.
And are you, at least not to get too off topic, but you're watching the new like
I've seen the first episode.
Yeah,
Oh my
not
god.
the redo or
Yeah,
reboot it.
I love it. It's so good. It's such a good story, and like I'm so happy they got like a lot of the original cast to come back and do all the voices. Like it's such a, I love that show so much.
So considering you're kind of doing some catch up with the anime fandom and like all the shows that's out there, have you at least caught up with Naruto and know at least the general thing? Considering you're one of the more fandom's favorite characters, Son in the Metal League.
I love Metal League so much. He's so fun. That's one of those ones I'm very weary of catching up with, like stuff like One Piece. I know I would be into it. I know it's going to be a great show, but I can watch 50 shows like in the span of getting caught up with One Piece. So like I've kind of stayed away from Naruto. I've kind of stayed away from like things like One Piece and Dragon Ball, just because I know of the time commitment that it's going to be, and like I'm just like I'm always taking class and I'm always just like working at something. So like I don't have that much time to like spend watching stuff. But yeah, I haven't gotten into Naruto yet, even though I really want to, and I know it'd be amazing.
How have you been enjoying being Metal League with the follow-up series with Boruto and things like a new kind of generation for potentially younger fan base, just like how myself, my brother, and the older hats of Toonami fandom grew up with Naruto.
Yeah.
Dads and everything, and moms and everything.
Metal Lee is so much fun. Like he's just such an endearing character that's just like this. I love doing comedy, and he's just like he's one of the more like comedic things that I get to do right now, and he's so funny. So I'm having a blast being a part of that, and it's always really cool. The people that work, the engineers slash directors at the studio, are so knowledgeable. Like they've worked on like most of Naruto, so like we'll do a something and then they'll be like, oh, okay, they're doing that because like back in like episode like 321, there's this like competition that happened where like and they would like they'll like tell you like the whole backstory and they know everything that happened. So it's like, oh, that's awesome, like thank you, and now I want to like watch Naruto. So like it's really really cool to be a part of like this amazing story and to like play somebody as fun as Metal. So yeah, I'm having a blast with him. He does. But he gets so nervous, he can't do it.
Do you actually can relate to that? Especially, I feel like actors kind of relate to that even more so than like this badass person that can all of a sudden blow things up with the twitch of his eye.
Yeah, dude, I struggle with that more than you know, man. Like I'm beating myself up in the booth like constantly. Where like there's like some days where you're just like you're in your head and you're just like you try to do a line and it's just like missed it. Nope, didn't get it. Missed it again, and you're just like, oh my god, I'm the worst voice actor. Like I'm never gonna work again. And like it's just like a lot of these like times where like 2 weeks will go by and like you don't like your shows are all like finished up or something like that, or you just don't have any sessions or something like that. You're like, oh my god, I'm never gonna work again. Like there's all those moments where like the ebbs and flows of voice acting. So just like keeping yourself sane and like knowing like you're gonna be fine, like you're gonna work again, like it's all good. But yeah, there's plenty of times that I'm definitely on Metal's page where it's just like, oh god, I'm so nervous, like I can't do this. But
so you're saying you were typecast?
Exactly typecast.
Sadly, you haven't been in as many shows. You are. I don't want to like say you're new. It's like you've been probably doing a lot of stuff that just Toonami fans haven't seen.
Oh, I'm definitely new to the scene for sure.
How excited were you about the potential sort of partnership between Crunchyroll and Adult Swim? They're building an anime directly from them. You can't see anywhere but Adult Swim. And since Crunchyroll is also part of the production company for Shield Hero, how do you feel about that potentially then coming to the block? And there are fans who have been like, oh, maybe they should put it on. How would you feel to have yet another show as big as that one also to be on the block?
It would blow my mind. I love Shield Hero so much. It's such a fun show. I love the story, the music, and the animation, and the other voice actors are all just everything like about it just like comes together. I think in such a great way. So if it can get on Toonami and we can share it with even more people, like I would absolutely love that because I love the show. But yeah, I got to I was at GDC about 2-3 weeks ago, and Crunchyroll is in San Francisco, and I got to tour the whole studio, and everybody was so nice, and everybody was really excited about Shield Hero, which makes me so excited. And they gave me this Shield Hero shirt, which is amazing, and I was repping that the first day I was here. But yeah, everyone there is really, really excited about it too, which is really, really cool to see. So,
not to be more of a Debbie Downer, I would say it's probably a little more divisive than JoJo. You know what I'm saying? Like usually, I would say JoJo's about 90% everyone loves it, 10% where people are kind of like, eh.
I gotcha.
How do you feel necessarily whether? Obviously, you're just a character. You play a voice. You're not them. You don't put anything but your performance into it. How do you think you'd be able to handle potentially more kind of like a Sword Art Online kind of discourse, whether it be on social media or even at conventions about Shield Hero?
Gotcha.
It's out there.
I honestly don't pay attention to that stuff at all. I'm not huge on social media. Because of like these shows, and I know that like people are on Twitter and stuff like that. I try to be more about that kind of stuff. But I honestly, like, I have gotten so much love from people on social media for the most part. I've heard some horror stories from other people, but I don't even have enough time to, like, say thank you to all the amazing things that people say to me on Twitter or, like, Instagram. So if I do happen to come across something of, like, somebody being like, dubs suck or something like that, like, I mean, hey, as long as you're enjoying anime, like, that's cool. But, like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't get into anything where anyone's being negative because it's like, I'm not gonna take time to, like, get into an argument with you when I don't have time to say thank you to, like, this amazing person. It's like, you're amazing as Josuke. Like, it's like, so I really just don't pay attention to it. The best thing for me to be able to do as an actor is just to focus on telling the story and doing the best job that I can for the people that are going to enjoy that show.
I can understand that. I hope you don't think that was like unfair.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, you're good, dude. It's all good.
It's like that kind of put me off, at least with talking to fans about Shield Hero
I gotcha.
on social media. It's just like, you know what? If I'm enjoying it, I'm just gonna keep it to myself. And like I'll find, obviously, you're a little biased, but maybe you'll find other like-minded individuals where you don't have to like proclaim it. But
for sure,
anime seems to do that. Like I'm sure you know about a lot of people with the New England Patriots and their teams, and yet it's like the same thing with like a divisive anime. It's almost like, as you say, it's cool to see the two worlds come together. Probably more similar than you'd think.
Yeah.
I also have to ask, because I saw the Smash panel that you did.
You did.
Did you play pro at all? Like,
No.
You seem to be very good at Smash.
Thank you very much. I've been playing Smash since Melee, like, a lot. Like, me and my friends, that was just, like, our escape. Like, we would go and play at my friend's place, like, every day. So, like, that was, like, our jam growing up. And then I didn't get the Wii U, because I just didn't want to spend the money on it. Didn't play as much Brawl. And then when this one came out, I was just like, oh, this one's good. So I just got really, really into this one. I play with a lot. There's a few other voice actors that I play with a bunch. Faye Mata is incredible. She's way better than me. Like, she crushes me in Smash, like, all the time. JP is one of our engineers. He's an amazing Snake. So playing with those two are really, really, they'll get you to a higher level real quick. Alejandro Saab is terrible at Smash, so it's never any kind of thing. It's never hard to play Alejandro in Smash and his Incineroar. I'm just kidding, Alejandro. But I play with a bunch of other, and Eddie is another engineer who plays a lot. So we get together a bunch and we play. We've been talking about possibly like doing something streaming. We want to get something going with some voice actors, and because Smash is pretty big like in the voice actor like community, which is really fun to see. A lot of people play.
A lot of your colleagues are in it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
That now?
Yup. Oh my god, that's so cool. So yeah, Xander gets to be the announcer, Master Hand, and Crazy Hand, and Joker. My god, he's killing it. But yeah, it's really cool.
Kind of, I guess we can end it off kind of, I guess like two-way part. One, I'm curious how excited you would ever be to do a panel of like all the JoJos in one room kind of thing. Like, since Richard Carr's here too, as he was Joseph, like maybe have like you, him, Ben Diskin, Johnny and Bosch, like how cool would that be to have all the JoJos kind of in one sitting to do like a panel? Like, it'd probably have to be as big as an AX room kind of thing, but just how cool would that be? The fact that down the line you see like all these people have been doing it for a long time, and then you're now
here's this guy. No,
who's the JoJo?
It's so crazy. I mean, that would be the coolest thing ever. I would be so into that. I mean, I'm still in disbelief that like I'm on like in a lineup of like these like incredible like just titans, and like I mean I look up to those guys so much. So to like actually like get in a booth and like play off of like Matt Mercer's voice is like it's unbelievable to me. So like I mean I look up to those guys a lot. So I would, anytime they want to do anything at a panel, like I'm so down. That'd be awesome.
And is there anything that you'd like fans to check out that your recent work that you can talk about?
Yes, that I can talk about. I got to be careful with that. Yeah. So fans, keep watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is Unbreakable on Toonami. I love that show so much. I have such a good time with Josuke. Rising of the Shield Hero is on Crunchyroll, continuing now, and I'm such a fan of that one. Keep an eye out for Mr. Osamatsu. It's coming. We don't know when, we don't know where, but keep in touch, and we'll let you know when that's coming out.